Alright, people. So Raw, I wouldn't say it was horrible, but definitely was not a qualified episode for a go-home show to one of the supposedly like top four pay-per-views of the year. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. So, and they only got three matches on the fucking card. I mean, the AJ versus Nikki. Um, they got Bray versus Dean Ambrose, and then the 5-on-5 match. And what other match? I don't think they have any other matches. So I mean, pretty stupid. I mean, what do they? They do this all the time. They just book matches at the last second, and they don't book matches fast enough. So let's get into the show here. We got the Authority coming out, cutting a promo, like 1,200 guys coming out, cutting a promo there. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, they started with two guys or three, then they went up to four with Seth Rollins. Then they got the two former, wrestlers, and Kane too. They just gradually started gaining people. Now they're at like 1,200. I mean, it's pretty funny. You watch them come out. It takes them like 30 seconds to all come out there. Come out to the ring. When they're coming out from the below the Tron, where they all come out. It takes like 30 seconds for them to come out. But they cut a promo here. Pretty much just I thought this was a lot of filler here, just stating what we already know. A lot of times the Authority will come out and be like, "Yeah, Vince McMahon, yeah, he made a stipulation." They just bring up stuff we already know, and it's like we watched the show last week, Triple H. We watched the 3-hour Boar Fest last week. We already know what happened, and then they say some other shit, and it's just filler. It was unnecessary. They could have just saved. They should have just cut this segment out and put it all in the main event. And then Ryback comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on Team Ryback." Ryback's changed his mind like 12,000 times. At first he was on Team Cena, and then he was on the Authority. Now he's on Team Ryback. So I mean, it's pretty weird. Like, what team is he on? It's changing his mind like 4 times in 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. So I mean, that wasn't really that great of a promo there. Then we get Harper defeating Ziggler for the belt. Ziggler gets attacked before the match. I mean, it was a mediocre match. There was a few good moments in here. Like, there was a cool, I believe it was like an STO move or something like that. And the power bomb too was a pretty high impact move there. So 2 out of 5 stars. Harper wins the belt, and I didn't really like how he won it that quickly. I would have kind of liked to see him be built up more. It's like he just came back from like a 3-month hiatus and he just wins the belt all of a sudden. But then again, it's the IC belt. And I mean, as a Wyatt member, I mean, he was better because he could hide behind Bray Wyatt's talent. And they were sort of just add-ons. But as a singles competitor, I don't know if he could go too far or not. I mean, we'll see, but I don't really see it working out too well. But I wasn't really overly upset about Ziggler losing the belt. I guess a little bit upset, but it's just the IC belt, so it's not that big a deal. Then Tyson Kidd defeats Adam Rose. I mean, I think they just had this match on SmackDown, so I mean, why air it again? I mean, if it was like some great match or something, yeah, then air it again. But I mean, just a match between 2 jobbers. I mean, Tyson Kidd deserves to be higher. I believe it happened on Monday, actually. I don't fucking know. Sometime it happened in the past. Tyson Kidd deserves to be higher up in the card. Adam Rose is pretty much garbage. Much like his rosebuds there. And then the bunny predictably distracts him again, and he gets tapped out there. And then something I saw which was pretty fucking weird, made me feel pretty uncomfortable. The bunny starts humping Adam Rose. Like, Adam Rose goes to punch him, bunny ducks and starts humping Adam Rose. What? Like, what the hell's going on here? If the bunny's gay, I mean, I'm not anti-gay. I mean, that's his choice. But do that in your private time, bunny. Alright? Find another gay bunny to do it with. Don't fucking do it in the middle of a fucking ring where you're supposed to be wrestling, alright? It just looks fucking retarded. Then we get a Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose promo. It wasn't horrible, but I really expected a lot more from a promo to build up a match. 1, they should have both been in the ring, face to face. 2, it should have been much longer. And 3, it probably should have ended in some kind of, better brawl, I thought. I mean, this was just like a 2-second brawl. And I just didn't really like it. It was kind of confusing too because Bray Wyatt's talking about love. Like, what the fuck does love have to do with this match? I mean, it's just kind of confusing and shit. I mean, talking about love. I didn't really get how that pertained to the storyline. I mean, I guess how they're both hated by society or whatever. I mean, keep it more simple. I mean, just, and again, should have had them face to face. It would have been a better atmosphere. So, I mean, I didn't really like this promo too much. It wasn't horrible, but I mean, I was expecting a lot more. Then Ryback defeats Cesaro in a good match, actually. Ryback, give him credit here. He put on a good match, and you're probably going to say, oh, you hate Ryback. You see, I told you Ryback's good. This is what I do, people. I watch the product. If I think the people are bad, I tell you the people are bad. If I think the people are good, I tell you they're good. So if Ryback, starts wrestling good matches and he improves his quality of wrestling in the ring, then I'll be the first person to say, or I'll say, Ryback's good. I just tell it like, like it is. I say what my opinion is. There's guys I like a lot, and there's guys I dislike a lot. But when the guys I dislike a lot do good things, I say they do good things. I've said Orton does good things all the time. And when the guys I like do bad things, I say they do bad things. For example, Lesnar leaves the company for fucking 2 months. Now I don't like him. Bryan, he wasn't on Raw because of a honeymoon. I bashed him for it. So there's things that, I just tell it like it is. I'm not biased in my opinions, really. So, I mean, like, I guess everybody kind of is a little biased. It's hard to be. Like, if Bryan went out there and cut the same promo as a Randy Orton, I'd probably give the edge a little bit to Bryan, because that's just how I am. I mean, I don't really like Randy Orton, so I mean, but overall, mainly, I'm not really that biased. I just tell it like it is. I tell my true opinions. So, I mean, it was a good match. I give him credit. Some good power moves in here, too. I mean, it was a good spot where, Cesaro was in the corner. He put his foot up to try to, kick Ryback. Ryback caught it and then powerbombed him. I mean, some good power moves in this match here. And Ryback, I mean, he's really strong, but he's got to use his power more to his advantage and have some more entertaining moves out of it. And Cesaro, of course, it was another good match here from Cesaro. Then we get Rusev defeating Heath Slater in just a stupid match. I mean, Slater comes out there dressed in like a fucking American, just retard almost. The thing I didn't like is, he called Rusev a bitch, but they bleeped it out. It's like, really? Like, we're not mature enough? You could show all these bad things on TV, like rape, sexual assault, assault and battery. You could show all the, vandalism, just all these violent crimes, these robberies, burglaries. You could show all these violent crimes, all these bad crimes on TV, but you can't say the word bitch. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, I just didn't really like it. Just a fucking 20-second match. It was stupid. It was boring. I'm going to give it 0 out of 5 stars. Heath Slater just really confused me of what he was doing here. It just looked like a fucking retard, pretty much. Then we get a Stephanie and Big Show promo. She tries to tempt the Big Show. If you really wanted to try to tempt Big Show, how about you offer to give him a blowjob? That's a good way to tempt Big Show. The best way to tempt somebody is by doing it sexually. That's how I would do it. I'm just giving my advice to Stephanie McMahon. Again, it wasn't really that great of a promo here. Then Big Show and Sheamus ended in a disqualification, a boring fucking match between two wrestlers who are fucking shitty. Give it 1 out of 5 stars. Don't really care. They're like, oh, whoever wins this match gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, or whatever the fuck the belt's called. Well, Big Show technically won, I think, because they attacked Sheamus first. I guarantee you Big Show's not going to get a shot at the title. I hope he doesn't. I hope that's the case. But again, they're lying. They're going back on their word. There's a couple of good moves in here. But I mean, overall, like Sheamus picked up the Big Show a few times, which was pretty cool. But overall, I mean, just a boring fucking match. And then Henry and Big Show come out after, and they, attack Sheamus and the Big Show. And they're building this up, like they're attacking these people, the Team Authority's attacking Team Cena, and they're like, oh, they're out, they're out. Like, they barely even attacked him. Like, Ziggler got curb stomped, and they're freaking out like this is a horrible injury. Mark Henry put Sheamus through the table. They're freaking out like this is so bad. It's like people get put through tables all the time. People get curb stomped like every fucking week. It's no big deal. and then, you know, he puts him in the accolade or whatever, like, oh, he's out, you know, he's dead, They should have played the JR thing. He killed him, you know. It's like, they're just overhyping injuries. Like when Orton does a DDT, you know, his DDT, and he does it from the top rope, they're like, holy shit, how sadistic is that? He's dead, he's gotta be dead. You know, when there's just a little speck of blood on somebody's, you know, head, they gotta fucking stop the motherfucking match, and they put a doctor in there. It's like, can we just finish the match? It's not like it's a life-threatening injury. I mean, back in the Attitude Era, they would have blood all down their faces, just pouring down, and there would be no doctors in sight. Now there's just a little cut. Oh, we gotta stop the match. We gotta go in there and make sure he's okay. It's just fucking pathetic. Then Brie defeats Nikki Bella in just a pointless, boring, stupid, retarded ass match. I mean, Nikki's dressed up, or Brie's dressed up as AJ Lee. I don't give a shit. It was stupid. It was boring. I'll give it 0.25 out of 5 stars. I couldn't give a shit who's, you know, Divas champion, because it doesn't even fucking matter, because nobody gives a shit about the Divas division. Then the 8-man tag match here. I didn't feel like writing down all the names. And I think it was Miz and Sandow, Goldust and Stardust defeated the Usos and the Matadors. 4 of the worst gimmicks in WWE, with the exception of 4 of the worst tag teams in WWE gimmicks, with the exception of Miz and Sandow, which I actually like. Pretty entertaining there. But this match, again, I didn't really care about it. Everybody in this match I hate, except Sandow and Miz is okay. And it was not that good. Pretty boring, I thought. Just didn't, again, when the last hour of the show, I get really out of it. It's just a fucking 3-hour show. It's hard for me to stay focused for 3 hours. You know, they say your attention span's like a few minutes plus your age. So, and my age isn't fucking, you know, my age isn't fucking 180 minutes or 180 years. So it's hard for me to stay focused throughout this entire show. It's like a job. It's like a homework assignment. It's fucking ridiculous, you know, to watch this fucking show. Yeah, and I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. I mean, it picked up at the end of the match, like all tag matches mostly do, but just a boring ass match for the most part. And then we get the last segment here with the contract signing, which I actually thought was a pretty quality segment, actually, rarely. And they had, you know, Cena out there, and they had the Authority, and then, you know, Ziggler comes back, Big Show comes back. I'm like, alright, you know, not really anything entertaining. But then Harper comes out, or Rowan, my bad. Rowan comes out, which was, I'm like, oh, this is cool, a face turn, I guess, you know, kind of cool there. And then Ryback comes out, which, I mean, you know, Ryback, I guess he's not horrible. I mean, I could get the concept of him being this big tough guy and everything, but he still hasn't shown that much talent yet, so I cannot really get too much into him. So, I mean, and then Cena was, you know, throwing actually some decently funny insults there at the Authority too. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a closing segment. I felt like it was a good quality segment to end the show. And to, you know, they did a good job of, you know, not a great job or anything, but I thought they did a pretty decent job of building up this match. I mean, it's a pretty big match. It's for control of the company, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I felt like they actually paid attention to this, did some shit every week to make it interesting, and I mean, but look at the other matches. We have Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, a horrible fucking build. They didn't even have, you know, most of it was fucking like Bray Wyatt just appearing out of nowhere and attacking Dean Ambrose, and it wasn't that good. And then we all know Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee, nobody gives a shit about. So there's your 3 matches. Is that all they're gonna have? 3 fucking matches? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, where are all the fucking matches? I want to do a fucking Hell in a Cell predictions video, you know, Wednesday or Thursday or sometime during the middle of, you know, sometime between Monday through Friday, but I probably won't be able to do one because there's no fucking matches on the card yet. That's ridiculous. So overall, I give this show a 3.25 out of 10 stars. I mean, you had one good match there between Ryback and Cesaro, another good quality segment, but, you know, two good things in the show is not going to do it for me, people. 2 good things, it's got to be more than 2 good things on the show. You know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of good quality television is not enough. That's still well over 2/3 of Raw was still bad today. So there you go, people. There's your Raw review. Like always, another pretty bad episode of Monday Night Raw. So there you go, people.